Alright, hey everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to The King's Speech. So now I'm going to do a big introduction for this video, just because the channel update I just recorded is uploading right now, so that should have all the pertinent information regarding read-throughs and videos and such. The only thing I need to mention, because I forgot to mention on the channel update, is anyone that hasn't seen my Yona video and maybe realizes from seeing this one, is I have updated my channel setup a little bit. So new camera angles and lighting and everything else hopefully gives me a little bit broader range of motion and everything to kind of emote and things when I'm reading, as opposed to before where I kind of had to scrunch closer to the screen just to kind of keep everything in range without, my arms kind of going akimbo to the side out of the view of the camera. So if anyone has any thoughts, opinions on the new channel layout, love it, hate it, I would love to hear any feedback from you. But without further ado, as I mentioned in my channel update video, we're going to be diving into Descender Volume 2, Machine Moon. I am super excited to dive into this. Descender Volume 1 was a phenomenal read. So without further ado, let us dive into Chapter 1. And we have the planet Hepton. And we get a very Star Wars looking kind of screen where you see someone looking through binoculars of some kind. And they see the heat signature around this giant dome, what looks like this icy planet. And you see the person that's watching it going, a fringe world of the UGC, once considered a viable candidate for eventual core world status, until the Harvester attacks destroyed the temperature control plants at its poles, and Hepton reverted back to its frozen pre-colonization climate. So you see this bounty hunter looking guy stepping away from his ship, just covered completely head to toe and cloaked in a snowsuit. And he heads up to these groups. Apologize for all the pop culture references I'm going to make, but he comes up on a group of aliens, wearing parkas and everything else, and they look very Thanos, like they have the kind of same kind of jaw design. So he walks up to them and he goes, "Hello, may I speak to whomever is in charge here?" And they're like, "What?" And he goes, "Well, are you in charge?" So the one he's talking to goes, "No one's in charge. This is a commune. Well, we don't get a lot of visitors here." And the stranger goes, "No, suppose you don't. Probably thought no one would ever find out, right?" And they're like, "What? I don't understand." And he goes, "Oh, I think you understand perfectly. Nice crops, but I don't see any irrigation piping, no fertilization distributors." And you see next to them, they're standing next to this giant kind of decahedron kind of globe. And you see there's plants and everything inside. It looks like they've set up a greenhouse there. So the stranger goes, "Now, tell me where they are, or I start blowing holes in your greenhouse shell." So one of the people points off to the side, "There." And he goes, "Thank you. Your cooperation is greatly appreciated, ma'am." So he walks into what looks like an abandoned bunker area where you see all these bunk beds. And he looks under one of the sheets where he sees what looks like a stone necklace along with a trinket rocket in his trinket rocket in his tin rocket. So as he picks it up, he moves aside one of the bunk beds, and you see the ground's been completely fractured. And you see that he opens it up, and you see a little hidden hatch as he goes down. He goes, well, what do we have here?" And you see a bunch of robots are hiding away underground. As one of them goes, "Please, we mean no harm. We only want to do our job." And he pulls a gun on them as he goes, "Yeah, me too." And the robots go, "We're simple farm droids. We have no other function. We have no weapon system, no allegiance to any world. Without us, the commune will not be able to survive. The UGC has not been able to run supplies out here in years. You don't need to tell anyone you found us here." He goes, "Please, sir, there are children here." And you see that as he's staring at them, his eyes are just narrowed, and he's just got a death glare on his face. And the next page, you see him walking away making a trail through the snow with the lead robot. Looks like he's destroyed the lead robot and he's hauling it behind him like cargo. So we get into Descender Book 2, Machine Moon. And we go back to the planet Nish, where we have Tim 21, meet my son Tim 22. And we have homeworld of the oldest monarchy in the megacosm and hub of the robot culls. And you have Dr. Quon going, amazing, I can't believe another Tim survived. And Tim 22 goes, hello Tim 21, it is very nice to meet you. And then you have King Snock going, how the hell did you get through our planetary defenses? And he goes, that is simple, King Snock of Nish. We infiltrated your security web. And he goes, impossible! That kind of AI tech hasn't existed since the Harvesters. And Tim 22's father goes, obviously it does. Now we'll be leaving, but before we go, I've decided He goes, I've decided a well-timed political assassination will further the Hardwire's goals. And he goes, Tim 22? Tim 22 goes, yes, father, as he holds out a palm, Iron Man style, just blows a beam right through King Snock's face, just obliterating his head completely. You have Tulsa going, no, don't! She goes, you maniac! You just killed the King of Nish. Do you have any clue about the kind of instability you'll bring to the galaxy? And the father goes, of course I do. Why do you think I executed him? And you see Nish's soldiers coming up as they go, Your Majesty? And he goes, protect him 21 at all costs. And you have Quinn going, I'm going to die, I'm going to die, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. And Tulsa's like, shut up, Quon. And so the father goes, we're out of time. The Nishians are mobilizing the element of The element of surprise has been forfeit, Tim 21. We have come for you. The Hardwire needs you. Tim 21's like, but I... And Tulsa just grabs him in close and she goes, this robot is under the protection of the UGC. He is not going anywhere except with me. And he goes, and where do you think you will be going? The Nishians will never let you go after you helped assassinate their king. Tulsa's like, what? But I never... And Quon's like, Tulsa, he's right. We can't stay here. We'll never get off world alone. We have to go with them. And you have the father going, you have misunderstood. We are taking Tim 21 only. You are not welcome among the Hardwire. Come now, Tim 21. You belong with us. Let us take you home. And Tim 22 is like, it'll be great. We can be brothers. Tim 21's like, I already have a brother. His name is Andy. And Captain Tulsa's going to help me find him. I'm not going anywhere with you. Sias. So Tim 22's father, his father, whose name is Sias, one of his robot soldiers comes up and goes, Sias, one of our cruisers has been destroyed. The Nishians are scrambling their land defenses. And he goes, we must leave now, Tim 21. If you stay here, you'll be destroyed like so many of our kind. But if you trust me, if you come with us, I will show you what robot kind was always meant to be. Tim 21's like, I don't care about all that. I just want to find Andy. I'm only going with you if Captain Tulsa and Dr. Quon come too. And if you help us look for Andy. And Sias is like, it's forbidden. Carbon-based life forms have never set foot on our home world. And then like a petulant little kid, Tim's like, well then I don't go either. Oh, it's like, well, I don't go unless they do. The Tyus Starnjana was very well, but we leave now. And you see Dylan's scrap sat, the outer rim of the Osler system. You have scrap sats or scrapper satellites are way stations for scrappers, bounty hunters, and the marginal ranks of the UGC. So just a quick look at what that looks like. I think that's the other thing I like about this new setup is it's easier for me to also kind of show off the pages, you know, without too much glare or cutting things off. And you see two aliens arguing as one goes, I cannot believe you took that tag on Hepton, kid. You really are nuts. He goes, a tag's a tag, Mr. Malak. And you see the bounty hunter that was on Hepton. As he's talking to Mr. Malak, and he goes, yeah, maybe so. But you're getting a hell of a rep going after tags, no one else will. I mean, all the way to that ice ball just for what, 6 Robbies? And bounty hunter goes, the tag's a tag. And then Milok's like, all right, what was it, 80 thou? He's like, 85. He's like, oomph. You see on the next page, didn't think I'd see you again. He goes, yeah, well, here I am. What do you have for me, Big Jex? So you see him going into this gigantic, cerebral-looking chamber where you have one of these aliens sitting at a computer module just tapping away. He goes, just like that, right back to work. He's like, what else is there? And the person he's talking to goes, drugs, booze, games, women, or men, of just about any species the UGC has to offer. All yours for a few loose creds. He's like, no thanks, just want a new tag, Jex. Jex goes, you must have a lot of creds saved up, kid. You could retire by now if you wanted. And the kid goes, I don't want to retire, I just want to kill robots. Jex goes, well, just got a sighting of a platoon of war droids out near the Mata system. He goes, that's a fool's errand. There aren't any war drones left near Mata. Jex goes, all right, well, things have been slow. It ain't like it was even 2 years ago. Let's see. 3 maintenance droids on a satellite around Samson? It's already been tagged, though. Got a report of a welding mech in the ruins of Strata City. And he's like, nope. He goes, nothing near Ostracon had that UGC alert on Drishu, but that's tagged. He goes, wait, what did you say? Drishu? He goes, yeah, some high priority target the UGC flagged. That was a couple of days ago. Had to auction that one off. Abe Rastak and his crew got it. Just one bot. Don't know what the big deal was. And you see that Jex on his screen has pulled up a picture of Tim-21. And you see the bounty hunter's eyes just going wide as he recognizes him. And he goes, there's one of those creepy last-gen child companions. And you see him running out as he's screaming, I'm taking that! Jex is like, didn't you hear me? That tag's already been taken. Abe and his crew are probably halfway back here already. And he's like, hey! And you see him running into the hangar going, unhook me, now! And the alien goes, you're only half refilled. You paid for a full load. He goes, I don't care. Unhook my damn ship. He's like, geez, okay. And you see him flying out of there with a choom. As we switch locations back to Nish again, and we have shields are at 20% size. He goes, undock us and retreat to orbit. Affirmative. And Tim-21's like, but what about Bandits and Driller and what about Bandit and Driller and Mr. Tullis? We can't leave them. And Sias goes, I'm sorry, Tim-21, but we cannot risk another rescue. If we do not leave now, we will all be destroyed. And I cannot take that chance. You are too important. Tim's like, but they are my friends. And Sias goes, I'm sorry. Prepare to break orbit. And you have Telsa holding him back as Tim's just fighting back. Goes, no! He's like, it's okay, Tim. And you have the pilot going, undocked, preparing shift drive. Tim's like, please! You have Tim-21 going, his emotion settings are very high, Father. And Telsa just snaps at him angrily. At least he has emotions, you little monster. And you have Tim just going, Bandit! And you see back down in the wreck of the arena where Tullis and Driller are just tearing apart all the other robots, and Bandit's just going, Arf! They see the ship taking off into outer space. And you see a forlorn-looking Tim being comforted by Telsa as he's looking out the window. And then you have the moon of Darishu 6, former home of the Darishu mining colony. Current population, 1. And you see this giant alien that's just lying sleeping, and he's just got drool coming out the side of his mouth. As you hear proximity alert. He goes, and he wakes up with a snort as the computer voice goes, proximity alert. An unidentified craft has breached colony orbit. And the alien gets up and goes, about damn time, almost out of food. Quick look at the alien, what he looks like there. So you see the bounty hunter coming in as he goes, sure, it's not glad to see you. Thought it'd be UGC that eventually came. Oh, this is too good. And you see names Blugger Vance. Uh, the other bounty hunter going, where's the rest of your crew? The robot. And he goes, Blugger Vance goes, that bot is long gone. Him and a big old mining droid tore through my whole crew 2 days ago. Left me for dead. Good thing old Blugger has a strong constitution. Hey, you got anything to eat in your ship? Bounty hunter's like, gone? But how? That robot can fly a spacecraft. Blugger's like, hell if I know. I woke up, he was gone. Sign of some other ship here too. Someone else must have come and grabbed him. It was a hot tag, UGC alert. Another scrapper crew or maybe UGC themselves. They torched our ship. Why the hell they do a thing like that? Thought I might die out here. The bounty hunter's like, okay, thanks. He starts walking back to his ship. Blugger's like, thanks? What, are you just leaving? What about me? And you see the bounty hunter going, I work alone. Especially this job. I'll drop you off the nearest scrap set and you're on your own. Blugger's like, oh, excuse me, Mr. Dark and Mysterious. I didn't realize I had me a damn prima donna on my hands here. And he goes, that Robbie's worth 400,000. If you're going after it, I'm coming with you. It was my crew that pulled that tag fair and square. Hunter goes, sorry, this job is mine. Blugger's like, uh-huh, well, let me ask you something. Oh, hooded broody one? How are you going to find that little Robbie? It's a big damn galaxy out there. And he goes, I'll find him. Blugger's like, you're damn right you'll find him if you take me with you. I managed to stick a tracker on the kid before everything went ass over tits. So, want to rethink your master plan there, masked man? Let's try this again. Name's Blugger Vance. I'm your new partner. And he holds out his hand for a handshake. The guy just looks at it and he walks away. As he goes, let's go. He goes, boy, you are a bundle of laughs, ain't you? It's going to be a fun-filled romp across the stars. I can just see it now. What the hell brought you all the way out here anyway? How's this little bot so damn important to you, Blondie? I knew it. So we finally see him taking off his face mask as he goes, my name's not Blondie, it's Andy. I used to live here, and that little bot, he used to be my brother. And you see, he's got his little scar just right above his upper lip. And you see Chapter 2, The Outer Fringes of the Nishian System. You see back in Andy's ship, you see Blugger just letting out a loud burp. As Andy's like, do you ever stop eating, Blugger? And he's like, do you ever stop sulking? He's like, no. Well, me neither then. Like, this piece of scrap got a name? And he's like, what? He's like, your ship. You named it, didn't you? Every ship needs a name. And he goes, not every ship. Blugger's like, boy, you are a real stick in the crud, Andy, my man. You don't like being around people too much, do you? And you flash back to childhood Andy as his mother comes in and goes, Andy, I was worried sick. Why aren't you at the children's center? And he goes, I hate it there. And his mother's like, honey, that's the only place you can stay when I'm at work. In the mine, or when I'm at work in the mines. You can't just be here in your room alone all day. And he goes, why not? And she's like, because it's not healthy. And it's against UGC rules. You need to be supervised. And Andy's like, why did we even have to come here, Mom? Why can't we just stay on Nerada? I hate this stupid colony. His mother goes, please, Andy, I feel bad enough for dragging you out here. You know I do. But I have to go where the work is. This is what I do, Andy. The mines are important to the UGC. I'm important here. Andy goes, yeah, but I'm not. I'm just alone in the base all day. And she goes, and you have to try to make new friends. He's like, I don't want to. She goes, you have to, Andy. You have to at least try. For me, promise me. You see, back on the ship, Blugger's just talking away. He goes, Scrap Dog. No, wait, I think there's already at least 3 other ships called Scrap Dog. How about Warfang, Comet Crusher, Death Flower, Battle Banshee, the Imperial Scorpion, Space Dagger? Oh, I like that, the Space Dagger. You have Andy going, would you please shut up? And you see, we've got company. As you see 2, what I assume Nishian ships tailing behind Andy. And you see one of them coming up on the screen as Andy goes, what's going on? Scan my onboard, I'm registered. And the person, pilot of the other ship goes, "We already did. Doesn't matter. This is as far as you go, Scrapper. Since the assassination, Nishian space is off limits to everyone. Registered or not, no one goes in or out." And he's like, "Assassination?" He's like, "Where you been? The hardwire got King Snock. Nish has broken off all contact with the UGC. We are on the brink of war." And Andy goes, "Damn it, I don't care what's happened to Snock. I'm going to Nish, Blugger. I want that bot." Blugger's like, "It really was the hardwire there, maybe. There may be more than just one little Robbie at the end of the trail. What are you thinking, Blondie?" Andy goes, "I'm thinking it's going to take more than 2 UGC fighters to stop the space dagger. You in?" And you have just given this smile as he goes, "Let's get in some trouble, kid." And you see, go back to the flashback again where you have, "Hello, I'm Tim 16. I was designed and developed at Quon Tech. I combine the very latest in synthetic android technology and adaptable AI, making me the very best human companion robot available in the UGC today, tomorrow, and for years to come. I am particularly adept at keeping children company. I can be your child's best friend, brother, and protector. Parents, I can be your peace of mind. Looking for a female model or one of the non-human races? I also come with a new Tina series, and many other variants are soon to follow. I may come from Quantech, but I can be yours. Bring me home today." And you see Andy and his mother sitting at a table as they're watching this little ad playing. And he's like, "Please, Mom." And his mom goes, "But Andy, you won't even play with the real children here on the colony." And he's like, "The kids here are stupid, Mom. They're mean. If I got a Tim, he would like what I like. He'd want to do what I want to do. And he's certified. I wouldn't have to go to the care center when you're working." His mother's like, "I don't know, Andy. It's so expensive. We're here so we can save money. And what if we don't like him?" And Tim's just like, "I will." Sorry, not Tim. Andy's like, "I will. I promise. Please, Mom, please." Then you see a woohoo as you see, and the space dagger is taking off like a shot. One of the Nishian ships is exploding behind them. And he's like, "Where'd you learn to shoot like that, Blugger?" And he goes, "UGC Flight Academy." He's like, "What? You were UGC?" And Blugger's like, "I'm more than just a pretty face, Blondie." He's like, "Choom, choom, choom." And he goes, "Oh shit." And he's like, and Blugger's like, "Relax, I almost got him." And when Andy's like, "It's not just him. Shift hole just opened up. It's an entire squadron." You see what looks like a wormhole opening up. You see a bunch of ships just blasting in, Star Trek style. We go back to the flashback again as we hear, "Now, Mom?" You see, hold on. The ship hasn't finished landing yet." So you see them standing outside in the spacesuits as we flash back to the first volume or Tim's arrival. He goes, "Do you think he's excited too, Mom?" He's like, "I bet he is, Andy." He's like, "Mom, there he is." And you see, "Hello, Andy Tavers. Mrs. Tavers, I'm Tim 21. And you see Andy just running up to him all excited as his mother goes, "Andy, slow down, don't run." You see choom choom as more ships are coming in from the Nishian forces. And Andy's just flying away as fast as he can. And Blugger's like, "Is that faster you can go, Andy?" He's like, "You want to drive?" He's like, "I shoot. You drive, just drive better." And Andy's like, "Shoot better." He's like, "There." And Blugger goes, "Nish, they can't enter Nishian space, but it's still too far. The gun is down long before we get there." And Andy goes, "Not Nish, Phages. We can reach the planet Phages. They'll never follow us there." And Blugger goes, "Are you crazy? Phages is haunted." And Andy's like, "Nothing is haunted. Besides, we're not going all the way down. Just skimming the planet's rings." He goes, "Hold on, here we go." As we slide back into the flashback again, and you see, "Hello?" It's like, "Andy?" And you see Tim walking through this giant hallway. And you see Andy jumping out trying to surprise him. He goes, "Oh, boo! Did it scare you, Tim?" Tim's like, "I don't really get scared, Andy. My sensors detected you 0.6 seconds before you said boo." And he's like, "What's the point of playing hide and scare if you can't get scared?" And you see Tim just staring straight ahead with his emotionless, intense eyes. And Andy's just kind of weirded out by this. He goes, Tim, what are you doing? And you see as the space dagger's flying through phages, you have something's wrong. And you see Blugger being like, you gotta get us out of here, kids. This place is evil. Everyone knows that. So you see them starting to spin and fly out of control. Then he's like, our thrusters are shutting down. Propulsion backup's failing. And he flashed back again. He's like, Andy, get up. We have to go now. He's like, Mom? It's like, now, Andy, there's no time. He's like, Mommy, what's... And she goes, I don't know. No one does. Something terrible has happened. We have to leave now. The shuttles are already taking off. Hurry. And he's like, what about Tim? He's like, we can't take him. There's not enough room on the shuttles. He's like, no, Tim. He's like, no, Andy. And you just see him crying out, Tim, as his mother drags him away. And you see it can't be. As they land on this weird-looking alien world. I don't even know how to describe it. As you see, again flashing back to, it can't be real. It's like, Mom, what is that? And you see the harvesters as they're beginning their attack. And his mother goes, we don't know, some sort of machines are attacking the UGC. Narada is in trouble, we've lost all contact. And now there are reports of some kind of leak in the mines. We have to hurry. And you see as Andy's watching out the window of his ship, you see these spectral looking forms coming up to him, very, very reminiscent of anyone that's seen Princess Mononoke, the forest spirits, the Kidadama, I think it was, the ones he meets in the forest. They look a lot like that. And Andy goes, it can't be real. The spectral city, I thought it was just a myth. Blugger's like, that ain't no myth, kid. And you see the aliens just kind of, or the specters starting to just kind of float through the glass. And he's like, don't move, Blugger. He's like, what's it doing? And he's like, I don't. And you see the alien as it just kind of tilts his head and kind of just basically draws Andy's head into him. And you go back to the flashback again. It's like, hurry, Andy, this is the last shuttle. And his mother kneels down next to him and goes, now, Andy, I'm going to need you to be very brave for me. And he goes, what do you mean? And she goes, there's not enough room on the shuttle to fit everyone, Andy. And I'm the only one who might be able to stop the leak in the mines. There are still hundreds of people here, Andy. If I can save them. He's like, what are you? It's like, no, no. And you see another one of the other people on the ship pulling Andy away. As his mother goes, I'm sorry, Andy. I love you. No matter what, I love you. And he's going, no, Mommy, no. And she goes, no matter what, as she heads back into the mines. And you have Andy going, ugh, as the spirit separates away from him. And you see them all just filing away and walking away from the ship again. And you have Blugger going, the ship's power's back up. What the hell did you do to that thing, kid? And Andy's kind of just groggy from the experience. He goes, I can't. I saw. Blugger's like, scrap this. I'm getting us the hell out of here. And Andy's like, no. He's like, no. And Andy goes, that's gas. Use the thrusters. You'll blow us both to hell. Convection impulse only until we get clear. He goes, now, thrusters. And you see the ship slowly making its way out of like the pink-purple haze of the planet before it fires the thrusters and takes off. And you have Blugger going, the UGC squadron is long gone. We ditched them. What the hell happened down there? And Andy's like, I don't want to talk about it. I just want to find that robot. No matter what. We have Chapter 3, Shift Space, a network of wormholes used for faster than light space travel. The command fleet of the Hardwire, the underground robot resistance. Jim, oh god, that hurts! And you see Quon's getting fitted with a robotic prosthesis. As Telsa's standing next to him watching, going, oh, would you stop your yelping, Quon? We both know it doesn't hurt that bad. That medbot has you so pumped full of painkillers. And Quon's like, I'd like to see you go through this, Telsa. And she goes, unlike you, I'm not a traitor or a liar. That's why I don't get my extremities chopped off by angry kings. And the little robot droid that's working on his arm goes, you should be grateful, Hume. That is the finest vapor hydraulic mech tech. It includes my own patented nano nerve interface. Quon's like, grateful? This is a hack job, you two-bit bedpan. I could do better in my sleep. And you have Tulsa going, what's wrong with you? She's looking at Tim. He goes, Bandit and Driller, we just left them behind. You can see that Tulsa getting frustrated. She's just rubbing her eyes and she goes, Tim, I think you need to adjust your emotion settings. We're in enough trouble as it is. I can't handle you moping around too. You have Tim's tears starting to come out of his eyes as he goes, Bandit was my best friend, and I can't just adjust my emotion settings. They're adaptive. I learn from those around me. This is who I am, Captain Tulsa. And he seems just stomping angrily away as she's like, where are you going? And he goes, to be alone. And she's like, but we don't even know the ship. And Tim 22's like, I'll go with them. And you see Quon going, I wouldn't worry, Tulsa. If Tim spends much more time around you, I'd say his emotion settings will drop significantly. Tulsa just goes, you want to find out if they have any more replacement body parts around here, Quon? You see, as he's navigating through the corridors, Tim 22 catches up to 21. He goes, Tim 21, are you all right? He goes, yes, I miss Bandit. So Tim 22 is like, I never had a companion pet. I do not know what that must feel like. And Tim's like, it feels sad. Do you ever wish that we were not made so human-like? That we couldn't feel things like they do? That we could just be normal robots? And Tim 22 is like, but our empathy is what makes us so special, Tim 21. It is why the Tim series was created in the first place. If science teaches us anything in the hardwire, it's to be proud of our function, to embrace our programming. And you have Tim 21 going, what was your assignment, Tim 22? Who was your companion before the harvesters came? And Tim 22 goes, I was assigned to an elderly man in Nevada. I gave him his meals and his medication and helped him get around. He told me I reminded him of his son, his own son. His human son was grown and was an ambassador on Samson. He rarely visited his father. He goes, it's funny how humans do not care for their elderly. I think if they could discard them once they became faulty the way they discard us, they would. And Tim 21 goes, they mean well. Tulsa promised me she would help me find my human brother Andy, if he's still alive. She may be lacking in certain social graces, but I do trust her. And you have Tim 22 going, I think maybe we should, or Tim 21 goes, I think maybe we should try to wear clothing that is a bit less alike, or they might confuse us for another Tim 22. That is a good plan. And Tim 22 is like, I could access my grooming settings. He's like, how is this? Better? And he changes his hair to a blonde color like Andy's. And he's like, ha! And Tim 22 goes, maybe red. Red was programmed as my favorite color. And Tim 21's like, yes, mine as well. But Andy's was blue, so now mine is blue too. I miss Bandit and Andy. Tim 22 is like, I know, but it's going to be all right, Tim 21. I promise. And you see, back on the planet Nish, homeworld of the Scrappers and the only monarch in the UGC, King Snock meant so much to so many of us, and his death is a huge loss for our beloved planet Nish and for the entire galaxy. But today is not a day of mourning. We are here to celebrate. For with the loss of one king, we now prepare to welcome his successor. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the next king of Nish, his royal princess to be, Prince Slock, son of Snock. Prince Slock, will you please approach the podium? And he goes, of course, honorable speaker of the throne. Just a quick look at what they look like there. And Slock and the priest, I assume, the speaker, goes, Prince Slock, do you accept the throne of Nish and pledge to lead our planet and our people until your final breath? He goes, I do, Lord Speaker. Then it is my privilege to present you with this. Oh, boy. Your beloved father's hairpiece. It has adorned the heads of your family for generations. Will you accept it now, upon your own head, and with it all the responsibility and burden of the throne? And Slock's like, I do. And he goes, then I call you Prince no more. From this day forth, you shall be King Slock of Nish. And it is here that I make my first pledge to you all. My people, I shall use all of our might to hunt down and destroy the vile machines who slew my father. I am hereby doubling all bounties on robots and androids, and generous reward shall be given to anyone who can help lead the Nishan military to the secret whereabouts of the robot resistance. The machine age is over, and if the UGC or anyone else stands in our way, they too will fall upon Nishian swords. And you see Andy and Blugger just watching this from the crowd. As Andy turns around to leave, and he goes, more than enough, Blugger. Blugger's like, hey kid, you seen enough of this crap yet? Good, because I did some digging and I think I got us a lead on our missing bot. And you see, bring it on, big boy. As back in the arena, you see Driller and Tallis facing off against this droid with like a single wheel and spinning blades as arms. And you have Tallis going, what's the plan, Driller? And Driller goes, the plan is you duck, Herman. It's like, I said duck! And you see him firing off with a poom as he fires a drill from his arm and impales it right through the robot, and then just starts swinging it around his head, just smashing into the other robots around him. And he goes, Driller a killer! Driller a real killer! And he's just waving his arm. Excuse me while I take a quick water break here. Oh, it's getting dry. And you see they're put back in their cage and after the tournament's over. And you have Tullus going, what is it? You see Bandit barking away at the bed. You see Bandit barking as he's standing at the jail cell. And Tullus like, what is it? And Driller's like, what are you barking about now, yappy butt? And you see, just more stinking Hermans. We already fought today. Leave us alone. So you see Bandit's excited because he recognizes Andy, who comes up to him. It was Bandit? And Blugger's like, you know that little thing? It was with the boy bought on Drishu. And Andy's like, he was my dog. Our dog. Tim and mine. Blugger's like, you okay, kid? And Andy's like, of course. Just a silly toy, not worth its weight in scrap. And he looks at Tullus and goes, you're UGC. Why are you with these bots? He goes, what's it to you, scrap dog? And Blugger goes, you want to start calling me names too, little man? I'll eat your friggin' head. Answer him. And he goes, maybe you can tell us how you came to be with this bot and where his companion went, and we see about getting you out of that cell. Tullus like, I don't cut deals with scrappers. And he goes, look, I'm searching for Tim 21. I knew him a long time ago. He was my companion. And you can see that Tullus is taken back by this. He goes, wait, you're Andy? And he's like, how'd you know my name? And Tullus goes, Tim 21. He told us about you. He wanted us to help find you if you were still alive. He goes, they took Tim 21 to the palace along with the commanding officer. Oh, excuse me. But there was a terrorist strike or something. You have Blugger going, news feeds are saying it was the hardwire that killed Snock. Chances are they took the bot too. Reports said they took a human, a Samsonite, and a robot in the raid. And you have Andy going, hold on, Bandit. Bandit was Tim's dog bot. They were chip connected, so Bandit couldn't get lost in the mines. Blugger's like, what are you saying, kid? And Andy goes, I'm saying if the tracker chip can be reversed, Bandit can lead us right to the hardwire into Tim 21. Oh, whoops. Forgot. Oh, under the pages from above, where Tullus goes, a Samsonite? Telsa. Well, that's it then. We'll never see them again. The UGC has been looking for the hardwire for years. No one knows where they are. We go back to Blugger going, you know how to do all that techie stuff, kid? And he's like, no. What my ex-wife does. You see, back in the Hardwire's base, you have Quon going, "Do you really think we can trust this Sias? I've heard of some of the guerrilla attacks that have been attributed to the Hardwire. These are not nice robots, Telsa." And she goes, "Oh, that's rich, Quon. You talking about trust?" And Quon goes, "We don't have time for this, Telsa. You can put me on trial when we get out of the mess right now. Get out of this mess. Right now, we just need a plan. God knows where the Hardwire's home is hidden. We need to get Tim and get away from here." Telsa goes, "Is Tim 22? Does he have the same machine codex as Tim 21? The same one as the Harvesters?" Quon goes, "Yes, I built them all using the ancient robots template. Why?" Telsa goes, "Worst comes to worst, we just need to escape with one of them then." And Quon's like, "Telsa, surely you wouldn't leave Tim 21. And she just gives him a look that says, "I am deadly serious." You see a swoop as the doors open and both the Tims come walking in. Telsa goes, "Tim, are you all right?" And Tim goes, "Yes, I'm better. Sorry I snapped at you, Captain Telsa." And she's like, That's okay. What the hell happened to your head?" She points to Tim 22. And he goes, "I adapted to avoid confusion." And Quon's like, "Ha! I knew that'd be a nice feature when I designed it." And Tim 21's like, "We came to let you know that we are about to drop out of shift space. We're almost home." And Tim 22's like, "I thought you might like to come up to my father's personal observation deck with us. The view is incredible from up there." And you see, now exiting shift space, Commander Sias. Readings show no sign of human life within range of the exit point. We are safe to make our return. Sias goes, "Excellent. I must admit, Semper, I expected the Nishians to give us more of a chase. The death of their king was an unexpected distraction." And you see Telsa, Quon, the other Tims coming up onto the deck as Tim 22 goes, "Hello, Father. I thought our guests would like to see our home from here. I hope that's all right." And you have Semper going, "All right? You bring carbons up here? Are you mad, boy?" And Sias goes, "Easy, old friend. You heard Tim 22. These are our guests." He goes, "Welcome to our home world." And you see as they're looking outside, they're drifting into an asteroid belt. And Quon's like, "Home world? We're in an asteroid belt." And Sias goes, "Indeed we are, Quon." And he goes, "But I assure you, there's more here than just floating rocks." And you see as they're flying ahead, you see one of the asteroids, which is sealed together like this, start to slowly break apart and open. And you see, "Welcome to the machine moon, Tim 21. Welcome home." As you see inside what was lying in wait in the asteroid. And we have Chapter 4, Machine Moon, the hidden asteroid city of the Hardwire, the robot resistance. Sias goes, "Welcome to Robot City. You will never need to run again, Tim 21. You will never have to hide again. Here, all robots live in harmony, free from the slave culture that the UGC subjected machinekind to for centuries." Telsa goes, "That's all fine and well, Sias, but you must realize we can't stay here." Sias goes, "Of course not, Captain Telsa. But you must also understand that now that you've seen where the Hardwire is, we cannot simply let you leave. We need to take certain precautions. And we went to a great deal of risk to bring Tim 21 here. Whether he wants you to stay or leave with you is his choice. We are not jailers." Telsa goes, "The Hardwire are terrorists, Sias. Forgive me if I find that hard to believe." Sias just kind of shrugs it off, like, "We're not terrorists, Captain. We're survivalists. We will do what it takes to ensure machinekind endures. But that does not mean we see all humans as the enemy. Unlike you, we're capable of being rational." You see Tim 21 going, "Telsa promised me she would help me find Andy. That's what's important to me." So Sias kind of leans down to him and he goes, "Well, Tim 21, if finding this human, this Andy, is important to you, then it's important to us as well. But I would ask you a favor. We would like to hear more about this dream you had. Perhaps run a few tests on you before you go." Quon goes, "Tests? What kind of tests?" And you have Sias going, "Nothing harmful. You're welcome to help us oversee the process, Dr. Quon. But this world that Tim 21 described, the place where all the destroyed robots dwell, We think it may be real. Quon goes, what do you mean? Sias goes, we have heard rumors, Doctor. A secret server with the UGC has stored the backup memories of all the dead AIs. Quon's like, you're talking about a robot heaven? I'm sorry, Sias, but at the time of the attacks, I practically ran the UGC's robot and artificial intelligence division. There is no such place. Sias goes, surely you must admit that the possibility is too great to ignore. If there was a chance of bringing back all those we lost. And Tim goes, I don't mind doing tests, Dr. Quon. I just want to help. Telsa goes, fine, but Quon supervises. And Sias goes, certainly, we're honored to have his expertise. And Telsa goes, yeah, well, the good doctor may not be the man you think he is, Sias. Quon's like, Telsa, please. Sias goes, well then, I'm sure our guest would like to freshen up. Obviously, we're not used to lodging humans, but we will make arrangements for you. Telsa's like, thanks. And Sias goes, Tim 22, perhaps you can show Tim 21 your room? Tim 22 goes, sure, Tim, you want to stay with me? It'll be lots of fun. I have lots of cool games. Tim's like, can I, Captain Telsa? Telsa's just like, I'm not your mother, Tim. Do whatever you want. Tim's like, yeah, come on, 21. I can't wait to show you everything. I might just start referring to them as 21 and 22 just to make it easier rather than saying Tim 21, Tim 22. We have the planet Samson. Home to the original colonists from Old Earth, Samson was also home to the largest human cities before the Harvester attack. You have Blugger going, tell me again why we needed those two. Should have scrapped the big one and left the UGC stooge on Nish. And Tullus goes, big talk, scrap dog. Why don't you unstrap me and see how tough you are? Twitter's like, yeah. Take off this magno collar and driller scrap your head, big mouth. And Andy goes, quiet. I bought Mr. Tullus because killing a UGC officer would get both our licenses revoked. We'll drop him off somewhere. And we bought Driller because Bandit had a fit when we tried to leave him and we need Bandit. And Blugger's like, yeah, about that. You said your ex-wife was going to help us, kid, so why the blazes are we on Samson? This place got hit hard as by the Harvesters. Ain't no one left on Samson except a bunch of wackos. And he's like, exactly. Blugger's like, exactly what? He goes, we came to see a bunch of wackos. And you see that they're surrounded as someone sends out a little bolo whip to wrap it around Blugger's gun and pull it away with him with a whip. He goes, hey! Someone goes, wackos. Oh, I love her design. I love it. You see, I warned you about that sort of language last time I saw you, Andy. We are the between. This is our home. Show respect or leave. I just absolutely love all of these designs. Love them all. And you have Blugger going, you bought us to a Twib and Cyborg cult? I'm going to lose my lunch. And he's like, I'm sorry, Effie. My friend isn't the most. Effie just pulls Blugger's gun on him as she goes, you will tell this lump of flesh to shut his giant mouth or I'll do it for him. Blugger's like, whoa, sorry. And he goes, sorry, Effie, please. We come in peace. I just want to talk. And Effie goes, I told you. I will not respond to my flesh name anymore. If you want to talk to me, you call me by my artificial name. You have Andy just kind of sighing as he goes, fine. Queen between. I need to talk to you. I need your help. And Queen between's like, better. Let's go then. We have quite a hike ahead of us. We want to get back to the colony before sunrise. Blugger's like, what happens at sunrise? And he's like, solar worms. Big ones. Blugger's like, terrific. And Driller's like, Driller don't like worms. And you see the Tim 21 seems to be in some kind of dream state as he's in this lush forest and he hears a crack behind him. He goes, Tim 22, is that you? And she goes, boom. So what looks like a dragon comes up behind him and blows a breath of flame that just sweeps him off his feet. And we see a yeah! as Tim22 comes flying out of the side with an axe, and he just lodges right into the dragon's eye as he lobs off a bit of it. And he's like, use your sword, Tim21. It only costs 6 creds. Take out the dragon's feet. And Tim21's like, okay, but I... And you see... and you see him pulling out this ornate-looking flame sword. He's like, okay, but I don't really like this. Can we stop now, please? And then you see them sitting in this giant room in front of this globe. So I assume the game they're playing is like a holographic system that just plays it around them. And 21's like, sorry, it's a little too scary for me. 22's like, it's okay, I have lots of other games too. And 21's like, maybe I just don't really like games that much. Back on Readthrough, Mom didn't want us playing games. Andy and I mostly read and drew and wrote our own stories and stuff. And 22's like, I like reading. I have over 1,000 books on my Projo. Want to read with me? 21's like, actually, I have something to show you. He opens up his book and he pulls out the Trinket Talkit and his Tin Rocket comic book. And he goes, Mom used to get Andy and me real books. I bought one with me. And 22's like, oh, Trinket Talkit, yeah. Excuse me. I watched all the Hollows. Love those too. He goes, this is so weird. I've never seen a book on paper. Why do you like reading them like this? Feels so fake. And 21 goes, I don't know. Mom used to read them to Andy and me before bed. I grew to enjoy it. And 22 kind of just cocks his head to the side and gives him kind of a quizzical look. He's like, Tim, you know they weren't really your family, right? I mean, Size isn't my father either, but at least here we're all machines. And 21 goes, but they were my real family. At least they became my family. 22's like, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you feel bad. 21's like, that's all right. 22 gets up and goes, come on, I want to show you more stuff. 21's like, okay. Before he goes, he just flips open the cover of the book, and you see this book belongs to Andy Tavers and Tim21. He kind of just slowly, just goes over Andy's name. And you see back with the hardwire, Telsa's walking into a room, and she goes, there you are. And Quon's like, Telsa. And she goes, I was looking all over for you. What the hell is this place? And you have Quon going, Size's personal sculpture garden. And Telsa's like, sculpture garden? And he goes, yes. Apparently the hardwire salvaged a few Amunian art bots. Size told me he commissioned these to represent all of the fallen robots. All of the called amazing to think the machines would. And Telsa goes, Gah, would you please shut up? He goes, excuse me? And Telsa goes, don't you get it, Quon? The living quarters, the sculpture gardens, we're never getting out of here. They've already separated us from Tim. I'd be surprised if we last the night. Quon's like, gee, I'm glad you're staying positive, Telsa. Nice pep talk. Telsa's just kind of getting frustrated. She goes, they don't need us, Quon. Even if we ever do get out of this, my father will never let me live this down. I really messed this mission up. Quon goes, your father's probably worried sick about you. Telsa goes, my father never wanted me to join the UGC, and no one else ever took me seriously. They thought I'd been handed everything. Truth is, I had to work twice as hard to make captain. Quon kind of just sits down next to her, as Telsa just kind of put her head in her hands. He goes, I'm sorry. I know how hard it can be to have to live up to impossible expectations. Telsa just gives him an angry look. She's like, we are nothing alike, Quon. You lied and stole to make your name. I worked my ass off to get where I am. You deserve everything that's happened to you, so don't you dare compare yourself to me. And Quon goes, look, arguing isn't going to get us anywhere. Did you ever stop to think that maybe Size is telling the truth? That they want to work with us? Telsa goes, you sure they didn't replace your brain when they give you that hand, Doc? We're behind enemy lines, Quon. You better pick a side soon, because I'm not planning on sticking around. And when Size finds out you're a fraud, he may not be so welcoming. And you see back on Narada, as Telsa's father's walking, General Nagoki's walking away with his aide following. And he goes, no word from my daughter yet? And the aide goes, "No, General, still nothing. But if the reports from Nish are to be believed, she may have been taken by the Hardwire in their raid." And you see the planet Narada, former technological and cultural hub of the UGC and home of the 9 embassy cities and the UGC. And General Lugoki goes, "And since when do we believe anything the damn Nishians report? Those upper-stuffed space swine will do anything to destabilize the UGC." Excuse me, those getting really dry. And she goes, "I'm so sorry. Of course, General Lugoki, sir. It's just we haven't heard from her since the raid, and her ship is off the grid." And Lugoki goes, "Telsa was never cut out for the UGC, but she's stubborn like her mother was. Good thing I sent Tullus with her. He'll get them back. He's one of the best soldiers in the fleet. Let me know as soon as you hear anything." And she goes, "Yes, General." And you see Nagoki walking into the war room as he goes, "I'm sorry to keep you all waiting. Update me. What are we talking about?" And one of the others goes, "What do you think we're talking about, Nagoki? This buffoon is now in charge of Nish. We need to act before Prince Slock does." And yeah, one of the others going, "You mean King Slock? Gods help us, Snock was a devious bastard, but his son is an outright lunatic. He already mobilized the Nishian fleet and is threatening to enter Samsonite space any day." Another goes, "As bad as the situation on Nish is, I'm afraid we may have bigger problems at hand." And Nagoki goes, "Bigger than Galactic War Ambassador Talima?" And Talima goes, "I believe the ambassadors from Selenos has something very urgent to bring to the Council's attention." And you have the Selenian, what would be the plural for that? I'm going to call the ambassador of Selenos goes, "Thank you, Talima. You all know it is not our way to interrupt, but in recent days, many of our strongest prognostics has had a common vision, one that is extremely troubling." Another goes, "Well, think up, old man. What is it that has you so spooked?" And Selenos goes, "I believe it may be better to show you. As you all know, the precognitive abilities of our race are strongest among our young, especially those who do not live through the psychic shock of the Harvester attacks. A group of our most gifted has traveled with me today." Okay, so these ones look remarkably similar to the specters that Andy found on phages. So I'm wondering what that connection will eventually be, if there is one. So you see Selenos going, "Children, please show them. Project your vision into their minds." One of them goes, "Do we have to? It's scary." Selenos goes, "I know, young ones, but they need to see what you all saw." Oh boy, you have the heart that the harvesters are returning, and that this robot, Tim 21, he is the one who will bring them. And you see the harvester just kind of cupping their hands, and you see Tim just kind of floating in between them as he's leading an army of them as we get to chapter 5. And you see back in the machine moon, Sias and Semper have tied up Tim into this weird looking medical device. They got this little brain cap on him as they're scanning him. And Sias goes, "Nothing I see out of the ordinary with 21's neuronet, Doctor." The doctor goes, "No, there seems to be no records of noticeable effects from Tim's dream, whatever it was." Sias goes, "We're almost done, 21, just a little longer." You see Machine Moon's secret underworld of the robot resistance. And you see Telsa just kind of watching with kind of pity in her eyes. As Tim goes, "It's okay, it doesn't hurt." Telsa's like, "You feel pain?" And Tim goes, "Not in the same way you do, Captain Telsa, but yes, I do react to trauma in a way that's akin to human pain." You have 22 off to the side, just kind of sulking as he goes, "This is boring. Are we almost done, Father?" Sias goes, "That's enough, 22. You can't behave. Go to your room and reboot." 22's like, "I'm sorry, Father." Sias goes, "Discovering the truth about Tim 21's dream may help unlock the secrets of the Harvesters, or even prove the existence of the Shadow Server, where I believe the memories of all the destroyed robots lie." Ooh, excuse me. Telsa goes, "Quon already told you no Shadow Server existed in the UGC. And Sias goes, maybe not, but there are worlds beyond the one we know, Captain. And you say you based the Tim series and all of your adaptive upgrades on this ancient robot you discovered on Ostracon, Dr. Quon? And he goes, yes. And tells us, like, upgrades? And Quon goes, the Tim series was a massive breakthrough. For years after I used what I learned to upgrade the emotive and adaptive abilities of most existing robots all across the UGC. Before Tim, robots were not nearly as human. You have Semper going, watch your mouth. And Sias is like, easy, Semper. After all, Dr. Quon could not be more mistaken. He just admitted that our personalities and nature are based on another robot, the ancient robot he stole, not humans. No human could have created a machine this complex. Quon's like, oh please, I may have stolen the research, but I still did the work. It was me who used it to upgrade robots like you, Sias. He goes, I recognize your design, Sias. What were you before you became the leader of the Hardwire? A repair bot? A culinary bot, perhaps? And Sias is silent for a moment as he goes, what I was no longer matters, Doctor. The Harvesters changed everything. Telsa's like, are we done here? And Sias is like, yes, for now. And he starts unhooking Tim from the contraption. As Tim 22 goes, Father, may I take 21 on a tour of the inner core? I think he'd enjoy it. Telsa's like, he's not going anywhere else without me. And Sias goes, I told you you're welcome here on our homeworld as long as you stay within the quarantined areas. Tim 21, however, is free to do as he pleases, as we are all robots here. And 21's like, it's okay, Captain Telsa. It would be good to learn more about this place. As he's walking away, she goes, don't be long, Tim. He goes, I won't. And you see Quon just taking off his glasses as he's wiping them. And Telsa's like, what are you smirking at? And Quon goes, if I didn't know better, I'd say you're starting to get a little attached to Tim 21, Telsa. Imagine a machine melting your heart. The Telsa goes up behind and grabs his shoulder and just kicks his feet out as he falls with a, hey! Telsa goes, and if I didn't know better, I'd think you want to lose all your teeth, Doc. And Sias is like, Captain, please, these outbursts will not be... And Telsa's like, shut up, Sias. I've had enough of your patronizing crap. How long do you intend on keeping us here? Sias goes, as long as it takes. When 21 helps us get what we want, I will return you to the UGC, Captain. Besides, he hardly seems to mind. Unless I'm mistaken, I would say he's really taken to the Hardwire. Telsa goes, you can sell that quarantine crap to Tim, Sias, but I know what we are. We're prisoners. Now she's walking away, she goes, don't get too comfortable, Quon. The second they get what they want, he'll kill us both. And you see back on the planet Samson, home to the original colonists from Old Earth, Samson was also home to the largest human cities before the Harvester attacks. And you see, think Bluggered's going, Andy, this place is farther than I thought. Don't forget where we sparked the space dagger. Someone goes, what the hell is a space dagger? Bluggered's like, it's what we named our ship. Andy's like, no, Bluggerd, it's what you named my ship. Bluggered's like, don't mind him. He gets grumpy if we skip breakfast. Tellis goes, you're quiet to Driller. Driller goes, Driller ain't got nothing to say. Driller don't like these half-Hermans. Driller don't like none of this. Neither does the Yappy bot. Tellis is like, yeah, I don't much like these robo-freaks either. But you barely said a word since back on Nish when the blonde one showed up. And then Driller goes, maybe you talk too much, Herman. You ever think about that? And then Andy goes, how much further, Effie? And then Queen Between goes, I told you, it's Queen Between now. And he's like, come on, Eff, it's me. And she goes, yes, it's you, a murderer. And he goes, I'm a scrapper, not a killer. And she goes, machine life is still life, Andy. And he goes, have you been here since the last time I saw you? And she goes, yes, most of the UGC isn't very welcoming to the Between. No one bothers us here. And he goes, listen, I know we didn't end things on good terms, and I don't think I'll ever understand why you chose to live your life this way, but I need your help. Queen Between goes, first we need to get below, Then we can talk about what you need from me, Andy. And she goes, now hurry up. The sun is almost up. The worms will come soon. And then Tullus is looking up to the sky as he goes, I don't think it's the worms you should be worrying about. And you see a boom boom. And Queen Between's like, what was that? And Andy's like, ships breaking the atmosphere. And she glares at him and she goes, ships? And you see Blood going, run! And Andy's like, they must have followed us. And Queen Between's like, who? Who followed you? And you see Nish. You see Nishes. And you see a bunch of Nishian ships is warping into the atmosphere. You see back on the machine moon, Talos is just walking through the corridor past some robots. Now she's trying to gain access to an area through the keypad. The keypad goes, carbon life form detected. Access denied. Talos looks around to make sure no one's watching. Then she just slams a fist into it to break it. And you hear, what are you doing? And you have Quon, you see Quon following her, and Tulsa goes, what are you doing? Are you following me? Quon goes, don't be so paranoid. I was looking for you to apologize. Now what are you doing? Tulsa goes, trying to open this door. Quarantine doesn't agree with me. I'm going to find Tim and then find a way off this place. Quon's like, you're going to get us killed. Tulsa's like, yeah, well, you're the genius, so help me. Get this thing open. Or do you need to steal a set of blueprints first? And she's taken off the panel so she can mess with the wires behind it. So Quon takes over as he goes, don't you think it's smarter to play along with Sias? And Tulsa goes, don't you realize what he's doing? He's having that creepy other Tim bond with our Tim, separating us more and more. It's only a matter of time. Quon goes, you really are being paranoid. Tim would never betray us. And Tulsa goes, he's a machine, Quon. Don't trust them. And he responds, how do you know the Tims even went this way? Tulsa's like, I don't, but I saw a bunch of other Robbies coming out of here. So it's as good a place as any to start looking. If nothing else, maybe we can find a shuttle or something. And you see them just reacting in surprise. As they come into this room where the top half of a harvester is just like set into the floor, almost like an altar. And Tulsa's like, what was that you said about being paranoid, Quon? And you see Sias being flanked by some of his robot flunkies comes up behind her as he goes, you should never have disobeyed me. It is forbidden for you to be here. And Tulsa goes, I knew machines could be killers, Sias, but I didn't think you could be this insane. This place, you what, worship the harvesters? Sias goes, you call them harvesters. We call them gods. And now it is time for a sacrifice. You see the robots coming just to grab Tulsa and Quon. Tulsa goes, Tim will never help you if you hurt us. And Sias goes, don't you see? Tim had his dream when he was nearly destroyed. We're going to finish the job. And we don't need either of you anymore. Kill them, Semper. Quon's like, wait! There's something else I didn't tell you about the ancient robot Dr. Solomon. And Sias goes, what is it? If you lie, I will know. Quon goes, I know, I'm not lying. But if I tell you, you have to promise not to hurt me. Tulsa's like, Quon, what are you... What a slimy bastard. He goes, the ancient robots and Dr. Solomon, they're still alive, and I know where they are. And you see Tim just watching and just being amazed by all the sights as he goes, I can't believe all of this is hidden inside an asteroid. 22's like, yes, my father and the Hardwire have been building it since the robot calls began almost 10 years ago, and they've made it a safe haven for all robots. 21 goes, but Captain Tulsa said that the Hardwire are terrorists. They hurt people. 22 goes, they only attack those who are trying to exterminate machine kind, 21. You must know that we're on the brink of extinction now. And you have 21 going, yes, but, and he hears an arf, arf, as he sees a bandit-looking robot off to the side. It goes, bandit? You have Tim 21, wait! And 21 goes chasing after going, bandit! And you see the other robot going to another robot And it's just like, can I help you? Tim's like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was a pet bot I knew. I was mistaken. 22 goes, that pet bot, he was similar to Bandit, the one you left behind? 21's like, yes, it was silly. I should have scanned it closer. 22's like, it's not silly, I admit, Tim. I'm jealous that you had such a powerful relationship with Bandit and with Andy. The elderly human I was companion to was very reserved before he became ill. I mostly acted as a servant. And 21's like, were you sad when he died? And 22's like, not really. I was more curious. Scanning him closely as his body shut down. It was fascinating. It was, isn't it odd? We were created identical, yet you're overcome with sadness and love, while I only feel things like jealousy. It is not just your emotions I'm jealous of, it's the way Sias looks at you. He used to look at me like that. 21's like, I'm sorry, Tim 22, I never meant to. 22 goes, there's nothing to be sorry about. It's just the way things are. Come on, what I really want to show you is right up here. Tim's like, what is it? 22 goes, this is my father's greatest work. And you see him. Oh boy, you see them in this giant factory building what looks like an army of mini harvesters. The design for me is very reminiscent of the kind of the Sentinels from X-Men. 22 goes, this is our army. This is how we will fight back. This is how we will eradicate mankind. Sias will lead machinekind to greatness. And I should be at his side, Tim 21, not you. You see, that is why I really brought you all the way down here, Tim 21. I wanted us to be alone. And he goes, goodbye, brother. As he just blasts him with a laser and sends him flying back as we have the end of book 2. Oh, man. Every volume in this is just such a trip. Oh. So, I'll do a quick review here before I wrap it up because it's already run a little bit over an hour. It's about an hour and a quarter almost. But I'll kind of reiterate, I love how this series is kind of trying to explore, the connection between what makes us human and kind of this idea of robots developing and becoming self-aware, and this concept of when do we start treating them like kind of the ethical quandary of we build robots to serve us and serve all these basic functions and needs, and they're almost like our tools. And what happens when they start kind of developing and going beyond that, kind of exploring the moral quandaries tied to that. And you really see it, coming to light with the conflict between the humans and robots and kind of the back and forth. And I love how they introduce kind of the cyborgs into this as a new, different element to kind of explore that other side of, all right, what happens when you have people that are stuck between these two kind of warring factions and cultures and ideas. So I'm interested in seeing how the series is going to explore that and develop it going forward. I'm also intrigued by, the whole city of phages and like Tim 21's dream and everything else. Because this is all purely speculation at this point. I have no idea what's going on. But it's reminiscent to me of, it's kind of reminiscent of Terminator to me, where the idea I'm having in my mind is that, it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy where the robots came back to destroy humans for what happened to them initially, and in kind of doing so, they kind of set up the seeds for their own destruction, where, they started turning humans against them and things like that. It'll be interesting to see kind of where the history and everything else is explored of what happened to the ancient civilizations, why they built advanced robots and things like that. It's definitely done a good job of kind of keeping you intrigued and slowly kind of pulling you along. So this is definitely a very well written series. Can't wait to get into volume 3 and what's going on. Well, I'll say the highlight of this is I love Queen Between and her crew and just all their designs. Just absolutely love it. It was definite highlight. One of my favorite parts of this volume. I think Telsa still continues to be my favorite character. Although I did like the sudden flip of the Tim 22 becoming a sociopathic robot that's going to try to kill. It's going to try to kill Tim 21. Yeah, but apart from that, it's also interesting to see Andy come back, and I'm interested to see what kind of role he's going to be playing going forward. But yeah, apart from all that, exceptional series, loving it so far, excited to get into more. I'll try to do my best to react to Volume 3 sometime in the next 2 months. I'll try to do a channel update once we get closer to kind of set dates and times and everything. It'll depend on when I get it from my library and everything else like that. But definitely appreciate everyone recommended this series. I hope you're all enjoying the read through thus far. And until next time, this is Ash. Talk to you all later.